Have you ever felt like you are running on a financial treadmill, where you work harder every day but your bank account stays in the exact same place? It is a frustrating reality for millions of hard-working people who watch their paychecks vanish before they even have a chance to breathe. Statistics show that the average household in the United States is carrying nearly $10,000 in credit card debt, with interest rates climbing over 21%. You are likely not struggling because you are lazy, or because you do not work enough hours in the week. The truth is that you are probably caught in a system designed to extract wealth from you rather than help you build it for yourself. Most people rely on a single source of income from their job, which leaves them incredibly vulnerable to the shifting winds of the economy. If that one paycheck stops for even a month, the entire foundation of their life begins to crumble under the pressure of bills and debt. Wealthy individuals do not play by these same rules because they have learned to diversify their income across multiple different channels. They understand that relying on one source of income is the fastest way to stay stuck in a cycle of financial stress and limited options. Today, we are going to perform a deep dive into the 7 specific ways that the wealthy generate money and how you can start building these streams for yourself. This is not about a get-rich-quick scheme or a magic formula that will change your life overnight without any effort on your part. This is about understanding the mechanics of money so you can stop trading every single hour of your life for a shrinking pile of cash. Before we explore the solutions, we must first validate why the traditional path of working for a salary feels like a trap in the modern world. When you earn a regular wage, you are trading your most limited resource, which is your time, for a fixed amount of currency. This is known as earned income, and while it is a necessary starting point for almost everyone, it is also the most heavily taxed form of money. Depending on where you live and how much you earn, the government might take up to 40% of your hard-earned labor before you ever see it. On top of that, inflation is quietly eating away at the purchasing power of every dollar you manage to save in a traditional bank account. If your income does not grow faster than the cost of housing and food, you are actually getting poorer every single year, even if you get a small raise. To break free from this cycle, you must transition from being just a worker to becoming an owner of assets that work for you while you sleep. The first and most common source of income for almost everyone is earned income, which comes from your primary job or professional service. Whether you are a retail worker or a high-level executive, you are essentially exchanging your energy and your time for a paycheck. Self-made millionaires often use this earned income as the vital fuel to fund their other investments and build a solid financial foundation. However, the biggest risk of earned income is that it has a hard ceiling because there are only 24 hours in a single day. If you stop working, the money stops flowing, which creates a constant state of underlying anxiety about job security and the future. The second stream of income is profit income, which is generated by selling goods or services for more than they cost to produce or acquire. This marks the important transition from being an employee to becoming an entrepreneur who understands market value and consumer needs. In the past, starting a business required a massive amount of capital, but the internet has lowered the barrier to entry for almost everyone with a laptop. You can start a side hustle by selling digital products or physical goods on global platforms without needing a physical storefront or a large staff. Profit income can be active if you are doing the work yourself, or it can become passive if you build systems and hire others to manage the operations. The key to scaling profit income is to focus on products that solve a specific problem for a specific group of people who are willing to pay for a solution. The third category is interest income, which is the money you earn by lending your capital to other entities like banks or corporations. While traditional savings accounts offer almost zero returns, you can find higher yields in high-yield savings accounts or certificates of deposit. You might also consider corporate bonds or treasury bills, which provide a steady stream of interest payments in exchange for using your money for a set period. Interest income is truly passive because it requires almost no maintenance once the initial investment is made and the terms are set. It provides a level of stability and predictability that can balance out the more volatile parts of a diverse financial portfolio. The fourth stream is dividend income, which is a share of the profits paid out to you by companies that you own stock in. When you purchase shares of a profitable company, you literally become a partial owner of that business and its future success. Many established companies pay out dividends on a quarterly basis, which can provide a reliable source of cash flow that grows over time. One of the greatest advantages of dividend income is that it is often taxed at a lower rate than the money you earn from your regular job. For some individuals with lower ordinary income, the tax rate on qualified dividends can even be 0%, which is a massive win for wealth building. The fifth source is rental income, which traditionally involves owning real estate and leasing it out to tenants for a monthly fee. This could be a residential apartment or a commercial office space, or even industrial property used by large manufacturing companies. However, rental income is not just limited to real estate, because you can lease out equipment or vehicles, or even specialized tools. A powerful strategy for beginners is known as house hacking, where you live in one part of a property and rent out the other rooms to cover your mortgage. This allows you to build equity in a valuable asset while someone else is effectively paying for your housing costs every single month. The sixth stream is royalty and residual income, which is the money you continue to receive long after the initial work has been completed. This often comes from creative works like writing a book or producing music, or creating a digital course that people continue to buy for years. In the modern era, having a successful video channel or a popular blog can generate ongoing ad revenue and sponsorship deals through residual traffic. The beauty of royalties is that you do the hard work once, but the financial reward can last for a lifetime, or even be passed down to your children. Think of it as planting a tree that takes years to grow, but eventually provides fruit and shade without you having to water it every single day. The seventh and final income stream is capital gains, which occurs when you sell an asset that has increased in value over time. This is most common with investments like stocks and real estate, or even rare collectibles and digital assets that become more valuable to the market. Capital gains are different from profit income because they rely on the appreciation of the asset rather than the active buying and selling of inventory. Many wealthy people hold on to their assets for many years to take advantage of long-term capital gains tax rates, which are significantly lower than income tax. By reinvesting these gains back into the market, they allow their wealth to compound exponentially without being drained by high taxes every year. Now that you understand these 7 streams, you might feel overwhelmed and wonder how you could possibly manage all of them at once. The secret is that you do not start all 7 at the same time, because that is a recipe for burnout and financial confusion. You must start by plugging the holes in your current finances and stopping the invisible leaks that are draining your bank account right now. Go through your bank statements and identify the subscription vampires that are charging you for services you no longer use or need. Canceling a few unused apps or streaming services might only save you $20 a month, but that is money that can be redirected toward your future. Next, you need to address any high-interest debt that is acting like a weight around your neck and preventing you from moving forward. If you have credit card debt with an interest rate of 20%, you are essentially losing 20% of your wealth every year to the banks. Use the debt avalanche method by paying the minimum on everything and throwing every extra dollar at the debt with the highest interest rate first. Once your high-interest debt is gone, you will have more cash flow to begin investing in dividend stocks or high-yield savings accounts. A smart move for many people is to automate a monthly contribution to a tax-advantaged retirement account like a Roth IRA. By investing just $500 a month into a low-cost index fund, you can build a portfolio worth over $1 million over several decades. The goal is to move your money systematically from earned income into profit and interest, and then finally into long-term capital gains. Remember that wealth is not about how much money you make, but how much money you keep, and how hard that money works for you. You have the power to change your financial trajectory by making small and consistent decisions that align with your long-term goals. Stop viewing your paycheck as something to be spent, and start viewing it as a tool to be invested in your own freedom and security. The path to financial independence is paved with patience and discipline, and the willingness to do what most people are not willing to do. Focus on building one new income stream at a time until it becomes stable, and then move on to the next one with the confidence of a seasoned investor. Your future self will thank you for the sacrifices you make today and for the systems you put in place to protect your time and your energy. The world is full of opportunities for those who are willing to look past the traditional paycheck and see the multiple ways that wealth can flow. Take the first step today by reviewing your expenses and deciding which of the 7 streams you want to master first in your journey. Wealth is a marathon and not a sprint, so keep your eyes on the horizon and stay committed to the process of building a life of true abundance.